Hey y'all, this is Jocasta Lester. Alright, so in the past when I fasted and prayed, I would be shown different things in my nightmares, okay? When I saw that faceless person, it was in my nightmare after having fasted and prayed. When I heard, get your son and come home, it was after I had fasted for 40 days. I felt what was warmth in my body, and I saw light in my hands. Different things, okay? When I heard I was going to heaven and heard God's voice again. It had been after fasting and prayer. So I understood that when I seek the Lord, I have to humble myself with fasting and prayer. If I don't humble myself with fasting and prayer, I get badgered in my spirit by these really proud talkers. They call me Babylon. They call me all types of stuff. So I'm telling you, in the way of the world, it starts trying to inundate my mind. It tries to tear me apart. So I'm like, okay, I got to get close to God from time to time. I got to seek him out with fasting and prayer. And until the issue is resolved, I have to seek him out with fasting and prayer. I say all of that to preface what I'm about to say to you. So, in one of my nightmares, it was like I was at a parade or something, and I was told, get back. And then it was like I was pushed back, like almost like the driving forward that I was doing. I went from driving forward to being pushed backward. And it was like almost like being rewound, like a tape in a cassette. And I got pulled back. It was like I was riding forward and I got pushed back. Then it was like I got lifted, swung around, and thrown into a ditch on the side of the road. And when I went down in the ditch, I saw what were flowers. I saw flowers through water in the ditch. It was like I saw these azaleas, pretty azaleas. And looking at this ditch, I actually saw what I think may be this ditch. I saw what was trash. I saw it was just bad. But when I went into this ditch, it was like I was a person that I knew. And one of the things that I said to my son when we were in Rocky Mount, when I learned about all of this stuff I had suspicions back then. I said, we're going to have a no more sicko parade. That was one of the things that I said. And we walked around the house and I rolled up a piece of paper and said, no more sickos with my baby. Because it was one of those things I wanted to encourage him. Like, I was an eccentric mom, but I loved my child. So it's one of those things where all of this stuff is like having a spouse that has a dual life. Like, their open life was I love my family. I come home. I don't go all over the place. I don't do weird stuff. But the private life was like this weird sadomasochist who basically tormented me and my sleep and my child, I don't know, overnight while I slept. Like, it was weird. So that's what the suspicions have become. But after seeing this nightmare, I felt strange. Like something was wrong with my body. Like something was just wrong. So I swung around, thrown in a ditch after being told to get back. And after being told that Jesus doesn't want me anymore. And after being told that I was Babylon and all those things, okay? I was riding down what was Holland Boulevard in the Cavalier Industrial Park today. And I looked over at the ditch to the right, because the ditch, if I'm not mistaken, the ditch was to the right, and it was buildings all around in this parade setting. It was like being in this parade and getting thrown in a ditch, okay? And several things that made the whole situation look maybe more happy to be able to cope with it. But really, it was like, I guess, trying to be at the No More Sickle parade that was actually held by the sickos that were tormenting you. Okay? So that's what it looked like in my nightmare. So, I say all of that to say somebody got swung around and thrown into the ditch on the right. And it was like peering up through the water. I saw flowers. That was the end of that dream. Then I woke up. Nightmare. I looked at Holland Boulevard coming away from International Plaza, and a lot of these different nightmares and things in the media, it's as though they're kind of in some ways poking fun at the torment of me and my child. But one of the things that I saw was in that iPad Go thing. It's almost as though someone's mind has been broken and deceived into thinking they were traveling around the world, but they were in the confines of what was the backyard again. Okay, so that they didn't travel anywhere. They just went around and around in this torture circuit. And whatever this is an evil sadist, a psychopath, sets of psychopathic people that thought it would be fun to play with children in an evil way. That's what I felt after having gone through these nightmares. And I would fast and pray. And the last one that I saw, that's the most freakishly horrible nightmare, was this faceless person that came to me in my nightmares. It was as though somebody had been on this torture circuit, and where I live now is where they had been at some leg of the torture circuit. And the bedroom that I live in now is the one where this person that I love was. And the back window, for some reason, whatever was outside of the back window fascinated them. Okay? So, I don't know if all of this is just nightmares that came together and they were just nightmares that freaked me out, or if these are actual issues that need to be addressed openly, so that either they happened and they need to be investigated, or this is preventative speech to keep them from happening, or there needs to be something done to stop any happenings that are occurring now. So, like I said before, maybe I didn't. I come into a place, and when I come into a place, it's like I'm a finisher. It's like every seat in that place, all the people there that come after me are bad, or they're different, or something about them is different than what is spec or something. But it's like coming in and the people that don't do the things that you do showing up or something. It's odd. But one way or the other, not the culprits, but the ones that point to the actual culprits seem to follow me into a place. So, is this all a converging nightmare in many heads that happen in the spirit? I'm not quite sure. Like the intent, the motivation, the psychopathic tendencies of people all acting upon me and my child in a dream world that we sometimes see. I don't know. But I'll tell you this. All this stuff freaked me the heck out. So I ended up riding down Holland Boulevard in Chesapeake, Virginia, in Cavalier Industrial Park today. And that ditch to the right, as you're leaving International Plaza, it looks similar to what I saw in that nightmare. And I was looking for one specific building, and it was a building that was taller and to my left in the nightmare. And I don't know if that particular ditch is the one or not, but it's a lot of ditches, of course, that can match. But it was a horrific ordeal. And that's what I've been witnessing in my nightmares and in my spirit. So, and I love my son. And it's seemingly something that's been happening, but I don't know, or has happened, or what. I don't know. But it's something that seems like a hush-hush hidden thing that's happened, or that the devil wants to happen. And I'm glad if it didn't, but I'm not sure if it did or didn't. And I've been trying to kind of get in contact with my ex-husband, the police. I'll call the police, and I know that there's like a custody order or something's wrong down there. I'm telling you, I fell out of the loop when it came to being there. So I know you're like, what's wrong with you, dude? If you only knew. It's a lot of stuff going wrong, but I know that God can fix it. It was a lot of confusion that was left unresolved on my end. I'm like, oh, this is what happened. Okay, I'll go back. Then I start to go back, but then there's all of these different things that kind of fell into place and in the way. So that my ex-husband, he tends to want to keep a fight going when there shouldn't be one. And I've seen him kind of have like this lights off, lights on type of correspondence with me in text messages and things. So it's that, like, he's a different person on camera than he was in the text messages. It's a very strange thing. I was contacted by someone named Officer Taylor. I don't know who this officer is, but he didn't sound like a real police officer. He sounded like somebody that was picking on me. So That's that. So repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Have a blessed and marvelous day. Thank you for watching my video. Hopefully it's not all over the place. If it is, I hope that the confusion is resolved. Basically, it looks like some weird stuff happened, and I'm not sure whether it actually happened or whether it was just in nightmares and in the spirit. So, or if it's something that's not a plan out there. So have a blessed and marvelous day, and take care.